joining us on the Nikki Maduro Show. I'm Nikki Maduro. She's Kim McAllister. Thank you for joining us and moving over to this feed. Have no idea what StreamYard was doing. We only need one YouTube channel. We only need one YouTube show. So thank you for everyone for figuring it out and letting us know in the comments that YouTube was doing that. Thank you for joining us. Click that thumbs up button. We are 100% crowdfunded, and a big holiday thank you to Daniel D and Lori above the bar from Red Jack Saloon. Throw it up on there, Woo! Kim, for me. Daniel's a big supporter. He always donates money, gives it to Lori, who donates it to us as well. Thank you for the $50 donation. Huge supporters, longtime supporters of the show. If you're ever in San Francisco, go to the Red Jack Saloon. I'm telling you, this is a bar. I always kind of call it like, it's kind of like a Cheers, where it's just not pretentious. You're going to love it. The drinks aren't expensive. You can get a Maduro Mule, a Kamikaze, a Martini. Whoop, whoop. It's just awesome. So thank you, Daniel, for the donation. We are, again, like I mentioned, 100% crowdfunded. This is a way to support the show as well as buying the cocktails. So thank you, Daniel. And we love seeing your name in the chat, as well as Lori as well. And as always, the super chat, super stickers are up, as well as our PayPal that we love as well. The Nikki Maduro Show @gmail.com is our PayPal email. You'll see the show logo on there. And of course, Patreon as well. Just a programming note. I'm going to announce it again at the end of the show as well. We will be, programming note, live next Tuesday. So we will not be here on Thursday. Happy Turkey Day, Thanksgiving Day to everybody. So Tuesday, 5 o'clock, be right here. We'll kind of give a wrap up of the news, and then everybody will be back the next week at our normal time on Thursdays. Okay. So next week, Tuesday, live right here. We wanted to do a live show, right, Kim? We didn't want to do a recorded show. We wanted to do a live show. So
about doing a recorded show, and that would roll on Thanksgiving. And then we thought, you guys like that live interaction, talking to each other in the chat. So let's do it live, and let's just do it on Tuesday instead.
Let's do it live.
Tuesday, and we do it, and we'll do it live. Tuesday at 5 p.m., the Nikki Maduro Show.
Exactly. Yeah. All right. So we have a ton of stuff to talk about. Yes, we're going to talk about Donald Trump calling for the death of military and intelligence officials. We're going to talk about the breaking up is hard to do between Donald Trump and Marjorie Taylor Greene. Yes, we are going to talk about the billionaire that's dropped his hat into the governor's race. But first, of course, you put your hand on the stove, you often get burned. And that's exactly what's happened to Texas Governor Greg Abbott. So how many people are so happy that he had like 2 huge losses over the past week? One, his redistricting map has been called, obviously thrown out, unconstitutional, because they said it was racially motivated. Shocker. And along those lines, because they moved so quickly, even though Governor Newsom told him, slow it down, we won't do yours if you don't do mine. We even had language in ours that said, if yours doesn't move forward, we won't move forward with ours. But they moved so friggin' quickly that California took that language right out. That now Prop 50 keeps moving forward, even if Texas doesn't move forward. Now, of course, Abbott has taken it to the U.S. Supreme Court, which we can't win. We can't lose. If it's unconstitutional for Texas, if it's constitutional for Texas, it's constitutional for us. And if it's unconstitutional, then nobody gets to do it. And that's what we wanted anyway, right?
Well, no, I don't think so. Hear me out on this. I think it's because with the Texas situation, they specifically mentioned race, right?
Yes, that's true. There's a difference between ours and theirs.
Not gerrymander for race.
Right.
And so I don't know if the California one mentions race. I tend to think not, but I could be wrong. If it mentions race and the Supreme Court rules that you cannot use race to come up with congressional districts, then anybody who did that, they have to revert back to the way that, before they did it, right?
Yeah.
But if we don't, but they did, then ours still gets to move forward, right? If we gerrymandered and use different criteria.
I mean, from what I understand, and the way that we did our maps, I feel like we did it on the up and up, right? So yeah, I mean, we could completely still move forward. It's still, and the fact that it won by a landslide by voters, like Abbott did it on his own, right? Like it was not a consensus. He did not go to the people, right?
Mm-hmm.
We did. And so here's my question. Do you think that Californians are going to like moving forward with Prop 50 if Texas's redistricting map does not move forward?
So,
I mean, how do you feel about it now that there's not that threat anymore?
I was trying to find that graph that I think we showed one time that has the how many seats would be that are on track to be red seats and how many new seats are on track to be blue.
Here in California?
In the whole country with the whole redistricting efforts from all the different seats, like how many new seats.
Right.
And it's still, with Texas involved, it was still the new seats that were gerrymandered in the red states versus the blue states. They outnumbered us by like 4 or 5.
Right.
The blue, there was more red than blue. So even if Texas falls out and we become even without Texas's 5, you know, the new gerrymandered red states are at, call it 7, and the new gerrymandered blue states are at 7, and it becomes equal. Therefore, any chance to cheat is still wiped away. I'm still pleased with that, because otherwise, if, you know, we just say, all right, well, if Texas isn't doing it, we're not doing it. But then you have Indiana doing it, and you have all these other states where Trump picked up the phone and said, I need you to find me more red seats. What I want, and what I think Democrats want, is for no one to be able to cheat, for you not to be able to say, oh, gee, it looks like we're shaky in the midterms, find me more red seats.
Right.
What I want is to wipe that away. I want it to just be, you know, as it was before. And if it's not as it was before across the board, across America, then let's keep rolling with Prop 50 and make it equal. You're on mute. You're muted. And I really want to hear what you have to say on this.
It doesn't actually matter. I don't think we're on.
Oh, are you sure? It says live on the top.
I know, but I'm looking at if we're on YouTube, if we're on Instagram, like great. But like
hi everybody.
Hey, anyway, let us know in the comments if you can actually see us. See, look in the comments. I don't think that we're on YouTube right now. I think we're having technical difficulties on YouTube. Will you put in the comments, Kim, if you could see us on? So they could see us on Facebook, and I think they could see us on Instagram. I don't think that they could see us on YouTube.
Oh, no.
So will you right now, Kim, go into the settings and maybe re-put in, I don't know, the link. I don't know what happened. Or put into the chat that I'm looking at it right here, babe. Thank you. Yeah, we're not on YouTube right now. I apologize. This is a technical glitch that we're doing live right now. I apologize. I was like looking at it and I'm like, why are people saying that we're on MTS time? Which, if anyone knows what that is, that's an inside joke. I apologize.
We're live on Facebook, and where else?
And on Instagram, I believe. We're live on Instagram and Facebook, but we're not apparently live on YouTube. So that whole YouTube thing went wrong. So
do we have to then delete this show and start fresh?
I don't understand why it's not going.
I don't know either.
Hold on. Let me see if I can do this. Hold on 1 second. Let me see if I can hit the live button right now and hit go live. Is there an ability to go live?
I'll be impressed if you can pull that off.
Yeah, I'm like, can I do that? I apologize.
Working through it live on the air. It's all right. It's okay.
I'm so upset that the people on YouTube aren't going to be able to watch us, because most people watch us on YouTube, but I don't understand why we're not going to be able to be there. Okay, let's see. Go back into, Kim, why don't you go into the settings, see if you can, well, you can't go into my YouTube. You just talk to me for a second. I'm going to hop off real quick and go into the edits real quick.
Okay,
I apologize. I'm leaving.
So I'm talking to you on Facebook, and I'm talking to you on Instagram. We think, but we're not sure. But I can see some comments on YouTube from people looking for the show, and I am very sorry if you're flailing about trying to find it, because we really want you to join this conversation. It's going to be a good one when we finally get to it. But back to the Prop 50 case, for those that can hear and are listening, I will say this. I'm hoping that we just even it out across the board. excited to see that a lower court ruling has struck down the congressional maps for Texas. And I don't think we've heard the end of it. I think this is going to be a case that winds its way through the courts. And I don't think it's a moment where you just say, oh, okay, then we'll just stop what we're doing in California. I don't think we've hit that point yet. But the justice's ruling is apparently coming right at the same time as a deadline approaches in Texas. Texas candidates have to declare their bids for Congress by December 8th. So they have to get this figured out and fast. That's why I think this is going to be a Supreme Court case really, really quickly. There are some candidates in Texas who are already looking at these congressional maps thinking, oh, I might have a shot at this. I'll run for this. I don't know. There's a thought that the court may steer clear of these redistricting cases, maybe till after next fall's elections. I don't see that happening. I really don't. Again, this is not decisive, so this case is probably going to be appealed in Texas. The justices, though, at the Supreme Court, we know heavily favor President Trump. At least that's how it feels to me. You may have a different opinion on that. So if this case goes to the Supreme Court, I have a big feeling it's going to go Trump's way. For that reason, I think we really need to not pull any levers or stop measures in California. We have to keep going, would be my thought. I can see things moving in the chat. Heather says, hi, friends. Yeah. I'm going to be drunk before the show starts. So it's interesting. I can see the chat, but you can't see me live. So I don't know. Sandy says, I'll watch on Facebook if I can find the show there. I don't see a link. Yeah, where Nikki's trying to figure it out. The best thing that we can probably do is delete this show, stop this show, and put up a whole fresh link. So I'm thinking that that's what she's working on. But before we get there, oh, here she comes back. I think she's coming back.
Yeah,
she is
coming back. I apologize.
Yeah.
There's a problem on YouTube. I went all the way in the back end and in my studio. I think there's something going on with my YouTube or the YouTube system. So I think we're just going to have to be on Facebook or Instagram. If you could put that in the comments, you'll have to go to the Nikki Maduro Show on Instagram. You can watch us live, and also the Nikki Maduro Show on Facebook. I apologize to those of you that don't have either of those social media feeds. I apologize. I cannot believe that YouTube did this to us, because we're going to have a great show and a great conversation, but we have to get back to it. And thank you guys for being patient with us. And while you do put that in the comments, let's continue our conversation regarding the redistricting maps. Yeah. The only concern that I have about the redistricting maps in California is the conversation that we had with your husband about voting for it. Yeah. And the anger that somebody like your husband, were having about, well, we gave the power to these lawmakers, to Governor Newsom, for a specific reason, right? Mm-hmm. And I understand what you're saying about the numbers game, and we're kind of playing that numbers game, but that's just an assumption of,
it's still the same. It's still the same reason, though.
Yeah, but are we going to keep playing that game? The reason why we did it was because Texas was doing it. That's what we sold people.
But
right?
it wasn't only Texas. We said Texas because they wanted 5 seats. We want 5 seats, right? But it wasn't only Texas. It was also all these other states as well. So yeah, I mean, I don't think the problem is gone just because Texas is having some trouble. Yeah. And I also think Texas will appeal, and that possibly the Supreme Court will get involved and find out. You don't think?
I don't think the Supreme Court's going to side with Texas. I think that they're going to find that Texas was in the wrong. I think so.
I don't know. The Supreme Court, we were talking about this while you stepped out. The Supreme Court seems to always side with Trump on a lot of things.
Yeah, but this one's weird. I think that Abbott I think that Abbott thought it was always going to go through. I don't think it's going to hold up to scrutiny before the U.S. Supreme Court, especially with how they wrote those maps. You know what I mean? It was so blatant.
Yeah.
It was so blatant. Now, another thing that was blatant, and another big L for Abbott, thou shalt not cheat. The 10 commandments now need to be removed from the schools because it is a blatant violation of separation of church and state. A federal judge ordered public schools in Texas to remove the displays of the 10 Commandments in their classrooms. Now, just to remind you, the 10 Commandments were being sent to the schools. They were not being like kind of forced to hang them, but they could not refuse to accept them, if that makes sense. Like, you have to take them. Here, you must take the 10 Commandments. I just don't know. If I was a school teaching basic history, basic US history, it seems so obviously wrong that I am giddy. I'm absolutely giddy with the amount of L's that Abbott has had to have over the past week, simply because he doesn't understand the rules. Like, he just doesn't understand it. And so now, again, his argument, we were a Christian nation, we were based on this. That's not why he was displaying them, though. You know what I mean? Like, you're displaying them because you are promoting a religion. You can talk about the Christian history of America, absolutely, but to display it, you know what I mean, in every single classroom and every single school, no, you just can't do that. So very, very happy.
It's almost like they forgot the rule. It's almost like they thought, well, Trump's in charge, so we can just do whatever we want to do. Right. No one's going to stop us. And not thinking that, wait a minute, this is a bridge. This is bridge too far, right?
Yeah,
come on.
Exactly.
Hanging the 10 Commandments in public school classrooms. Really?
Although some people, some people do say, when you remove prayer from classrooms, when you remove, kind of morality with kids and things like that, that's the problem with kids these days. They don't know any sort of moral code. And is there anything within the 10 Commandments that's that offensive? No. I mean, it's kind of basic decency, right? I mean, except, the you shall not have any other gods before me, the first one. But other than that,
I'm sure there is a roadmap of rules for every religion. And I don't have a problem if you want to put the 10 Commandments up right next to the rules from pick a religion, any other ones, all of them listed there together, right next to each other. Are there ones from, I don't know, Hare Krishnas? Are there ones from the
Jewish
Satan
religions, all kinds of Muslim? Yeah, exactly.
I mean, many of the other religions are all based on the Bible, so I would expect that their 10 Commandments would be the same, or the rules, the list of rules. I don't know, but put them all up. Put them all up next to each other. That's the only way I'll tolerate it. Or don't, all or nothing.
I say nothing. You know what I mean? Unless you're taking a religious class. There are tons of classes that are religious classes. So, great question, John. What about the Pledge of Allegiance? Now, that I take more along the whole like nationalism area. Although, there was always the debate, one nation under God. But then we could also talk about our money, right? I mean, God is on all of it. Although I could make the argument, if I was going to argue with somebody, which I love to do, that God, the word in and of itself, can have a different meaning to all kinds of religions, right? So by saying under God, you could think of your own God while you say those two words.
That's right.
It doesn't necessarily mean the Christian God. Just be whatever God you believe in, or none. You know what I mean?
If you're Native American, it could be the great creator, right? Whatever
you want. Exactly. So it's not up to, the 10 Commandments on a wall, or prayers in school, or even the Pledge of Allegiance to teach morality to your kids. It's up to, parents and families and your village and all that kind of stuff. Like, you have to do it that way. And are we hitting a time where it's kind of hard with social media and kids more engaged with, 30-second videos on their phone than they are with listening to the, teachings of their own parents? Yeah, probably. And that's a huge problem. But that's the age that we're in right now. It's whoever can say the most outlandish thing gets, the views. The algorithm loves it, and unfortunately, preaching kindness and patience and all that kind of stuff and empathy it doesn't necessarily sell as much as it did back then. So, you know, we can't give up hope. You know what I mean?
No, it doesn't get as much clicks as hang them, kill them all, right?
Exactly.
It doesn't get those kind of clicks. I mean,
No.
that's what do they call that? What's the word? I forget the word. Starts with a P. That is provocative.
There you go. Provocative. Now, of course, Kim is talking about our next story that we're going to talk about, and that is your president of the United States is out of his ever-living mind. I'm going to show the video right now that got him so freaking upset. And you guys tell me now, I want you to watch this video closely. I want you to listen to what they say, because it has been, I mean, again, it's so not offensive, and they don't say anything wrong. But you know, if you're offended by it, maybe you should have a little come to Jesus moment on why are you so offended. So here is the video that got Trump
Senator
pissed off.
Alyssa Slotkin,
Senator Mark Kelly,
Representative Chris DeLuzio,
Congresswoman Maggie Goodlander,
Representative Chrissy Houlihan,
Congressman Jason Crow,
I was a captain in the United States Navy,
former CIA officer,
former Navy,
former paratrooper and Army Ranger,
former intelligence officer,
former Air Force,
we want to speak directly to members of the military
and the intelligence community.
who take risks each day.
to keep Americans safe.
We know you are under enormous stress and pressure right now.
Americans trust their military.
But that trust is at risk.
This administration is pitting our uniformed military
And intelligence community professionals
Against American citizens.
like us. You all swore an oath.
to protect and defend this Constitution.
Right now, the threats to our Constitution aren't just coming from abroad.
But from right here at home.
Our laws are clear. You can refuse illegal orders.
You can refuse illegal orders.
You must refuse illegal orders.
No one has to carry out orders that violate the law.
Or our Constitution.
We know this is hard.
And that it's a difficult time to be a public servant.
But whether you're serving in the CIA,
In the Army,
Our Navy,
The Air Force.
Your vigilance is critical.
and know that we have your back.
because now, more than ever,
The American people need you.
We need you to stand up for our laws.
our Constitution,
And who we are as Americans. Don't give up.
don't give up.
don't give up.
Don't give up the ship.
Okay, so that was, I'm assuming don't give up the ship is this military intelligence kind of phrase where they're like, you know, kind of hold, don't give in, I guess, to, you know, kind of the threats among us, right?
To illegal orders. What I want the question I have for you is, what was wrong with that? Saying don't submit to illegal orders, which is the law anyway, right?
Yeah, exactly. And if somebody, perhaps the commander in chief, takes offense to that, I would go, why? Why are you offended when someone is telling people to not, you know, take illegal orders? And there's only one reason, is because you want them to follow illegal orders. Now, Carolyn Levitt was, well, let's first get to Trump's response. Okay, so Trump went on Truth Social and lost his ever-living mind. He basically said that these people should, it's seditious behavior, punishable by death. That he was calling for the death of these people.
Wait, Nikki, I thought isn't there a new push to not speak violence to politics?
Right.
Are we supposed to calm it down?
Oh, exactly.
Aren't all the Republicans being killed, but no Democrats being killed?
Exactly.
What's happening? I thought Trump was supposed to say, we're not going to have violence speak in politics anymore. We're going to, you know, we're going to stop that now. That's dangerous. It's proven to be dangerous. And so now he's calling for the hanging of anyone who said to follow the law.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Exactly. Arrest, trial, death by hanging. For what? For saying what's true. You, if you're in the military, if you're in the intelligence community, if you are a public servant that works and you take an oath to the Constitution. So I want to play you. This is Senator Alyssa Slotkin. She was in that video. She was responding to, obviously, Donald Trump's temper tantrum. And she was, you know, pissed off but calm, because this is how an adult responds to a temper tantrum. This was her response.
I'm Senator Alyssa Slotkin, senator from Michigan, former CIA officer. Earlier today, President Trump threatened myself and a number of other service and veteran lawmakers with arrest, trial, and death because he didn't agree with a video we put out this week. This really isn't about those of us who made the video. This is about who we are as Americans and how we're going to engage with people who we disagree with. I would hope that people of all backgrounds, Democrat, Republican, Independent, would agree that threatening death for people you disagree with is beyond the pale of who we are as Americans. I love this country. It has given me everything, everything. And I refuse to believe that this is the new normal. I refuse to believe that we're going to use fear and intimidation against people we disagree with. And I'm not going to be forced away from speaking up on behalf of my country. I swore an oath to the Constitution many times, most recently less than a year ago as a senator. To the Constitution, not to any one man, not to any one president. And I abide by that oath. For me, I believe in the power of this country and that we are better than our current politics represent. And I refuse to be intimidated out of defending the country I love.
I absolutely love her comment.
Boy,
I mean,
they have
I think that
they've got
there's,
a great senator there. Wow.
and she's so badass, like her black.
Yeah.
I don't know. You can tell she was CIA. But like, she's right. You know what I mean? It's like, and could they have not put illegal order any bigger for that asshat to read? Like, illegal order. Listen to, I mean, I swear to God, I can't stand Carolyn Levitt anymore. I can't stand her. I don't know how you do your job. I really don't know how you wake up in the morning and do your job. But this is her absolutely lying about what that video said.
I would just add that if this were Republican members of Congress who were encouraging members of the military and members of our United States government to defy orders from the president and from the chain of command, this entire room would be up in arms. But instead, it is the other way around, and I think that's quite telling. I'm going to let you all go because the president, excuse me, I appreciate the encouragement this afternoon, but President Trump is about to meet in minutes with Israeli hostages who this administration freed, and so I'm going to go up to that meeting, and you will hear more about that later. Thank you.
Exactly. That's not what they said, and that's she's lying. That's not what they said. And so it's just absolutely ridiculous. I don't know how Carolyn Levitt, again, I don't know how you do your job and just sit up there and lie, but how is Donald?
I don't know how she goes to sleep at night. And she has this attitude about her, this smugness.
You have to. I think she looks in the mirror in the morning, Kim, and she just goes, just be that person. Just be that person. Just don't give a crap. And this is a job and you just have to do it. That's what I honestly think she has to tell herself.
I don't think this is just a job for her. I think this is a calling. I think she is even, and it would be hard because you would see the lies. Like you would be able to see through stuff in that position. Right. But I think she's so magnified and so, I don't know. It's hard to just call someone, like a racist, but I feel like when the hate outpaces, when the amount of hate someone has outweighs the lie telling, like It's more important for me to lie and push our agenda because my hate level is up here and that supersedes everything. That's kind of how I see it. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But this is the other thing is like, I feel like we live in an era, and again, she's a younger woman. She's grown up in a different generation than we did. I do believe that there is this mentality where, and this is why I say the whole job thing, where she just wants to get ahead. She's working for the president of the United States. And if that means pushing aside her moral code,
right,
basically lying to the American people, she will do that for the next 4 years because then she'll get another step up later on. It's what's next. Does that make sense? Like, I really feel like this generation, and I'm not knocking it, I'm just saying this very quick, and I don't want to use the word influencer because I really feel like that demeans it, but it's a machine. And this younger generation understands that media machine. I was just reading an article about the death of journalism, right? Like there's no money in being a journalist. You have to be a brand. Like
Yes.
that's where the money is.
And now you
nobody's
see
training these journalists anymore.
no
You have to
journalists are
develop
all
your
now
brand.
the real journalists, the investigative journalists, they're all on Substack now.
Oh yeah.
They're all
and
making
who's reading Substack? Honestly, who's reading Substack? I mean, not knocking Substack. I'm sure that
Mhm.
there's people that make, some money. But if you think that people are making all of their money on Substack, please, no. That's a hustle, right? So that is what I'm talking about. It's your brand. It is not, I'm going to be a journalist. I'm going to be, I'm going to break Watergate or some big story, right?
Right.
There is no thrill in that anymore. It is, who am I? How can I make a name for myself? What story am I going to break? And I have to feed that machine, because even if it's a huge story, everyone's going to click over and be like, okay, what's next? What's next? What's next? And it's crazy. I'm just going to do a quick reminder to everybody that's on Facebook or Instagram and just found us on Facebook or Instagram. YouTube is having some issue. Before we came on, there were apparently 2 different feeds that StreamYard did. I have no idea how that could happen, because I only use it's a system called StreamYard. That's the only way I can do it. I only made one. So there's something going on with YouTube, unfortunately, and I can't fix it, especially now that we're live. So thank you for people for following us here on Instagram and Facebook. Unfortunately, I'll probably have to cut up this show and I'll throw it on YouTube later. So maybe you guys can catch the show there. But this will not be repeated, right, Kim McAllister? We shall figure it out. But yeah,
my hope is that whatever happened with YouTube, that this show will still be available in the recorded version later, that somehow we can make that happen.
I'm just going to record it. I'm just going to take the recording off StreamYard and
put it on YouTube. Yeah.
Because I keep tracking YouTube, and it's all whited out. The video, there's something going on technical on YouTube right now. So yeah, sorry. This is live. I would say live radio, but it's not really live radio.
It's live, whatever this new platform is.
Okay.
I want to show you this, because after Trump said, hang them, he goes on and does this. He says, it's called seditious behavior at the highest level. Each one of these traitors to our country should be arrested and put on trial. Okay, so they get a trial first? Because originally he just said, hang them all, right? Their words cannot be allowed to stand. We won't have a country anymore. An example must be set.
What are you talking about?
Why didn't he just say this? Of course, I completely agree with you that all of the orders that I issue will be lawful.
Exactly.
I wouldn't want anyone to do anything that breaks the law. And so I won't issue any orders that are unlawful. Thank you, America. And thank you for keeping us honest. Right?
I appreciate your attention to this matter.
Instead, he comes out and says it's seditious behavior. It's only seditious.
Because he wants you to listen to anything he says, whether it's lawful or not. He doesn't care. And I don't think he understands if anything's against the law. If he says, I truly believe Donald, and I think he's actually said this in the past, if he says it, it should be law. Like, I truly believe he believes this. I'm president, so whatever I say goes. So of course it's lawful. I'm president. Like that is like the most childish way of viewing the presidency, because he wants to be a dictator. Do you understand? Like, that's a dictator viewpoint. It's like, what I say goes. It doesn't matter what laws. What does that matter? What I say goes. So, but when you're the commander in chief, and the military takes an oath not to you, to the Constitution, because that military will outlast you. That military will serve many commander in chiefs, right? So not just you. So that's the point, is that there's laws and there's a Constitution. The Constitution is what they take an oath to, not you. So I don't know.
Heather makes the best point. Real ironic, coming from the nation's biggest traitor.
Exactly.
And it's funny because when you look at what happened on January 6th, trying to, and the fake electors and trying to subvert the will of the American people and the voice of the American people.
Yeah.
And you talk about seditious. Okay.
Yeah. And I don't know. And of course, Mike Johnson, the most ineffectual speaker ever. I mean, the guy literally, I I can't stand looking at his face just as much as I can't look at Carolyn Levitt. So, of course, Manu Raju, CNN, tries to ask him what he thinks about what Trump said.
The president posted that Democrats who urge service members to not follow illegal orders should be punished, it should be seditious conspiracy and punishable by death. Give me a response to that.
Look, I know the DOJ and the Pentagon are looking into the legality of all that, but what I can address is what everybody knows. That was wildly inappropriate. It is very dangerous. You have leading members of Congress telling troops to disobey orders. I think that's unprecedented in American history. And as the father of a young man who is, at the Naval Academy, going to be joining the service, I know young soldiers, airmen, sailors, they don't need that kind of nonsense from
messaging.
Congress. It is very dangerous.
Hold on,
I'm just going to say, he thinks that telling military to not follow illegal orders is wildly inappropriate. And yet the president of the United States has called for the death of military and intelligence officials. And this asshat Speaker of the House has nothing to say about it.
The only way they can defend this is by saying, oh, you can't tell them not to follow the military, not to follow the orders of the president. And they're leaving out that key word, illegal order. So you'll see them say, oh, look at this, look at what the Democrats are doing. And they're missing the entire point. And they're leaving out the actual point of the whole thing. Don't follow illegal orders, right? We know that this is the law of the land. If someone tells you to do something illegal, whether you're signed up for the military or not, you have a moral obligation not to follow that order.
Exactly. And I think the reason why I think that videos like that are coming out is because the military is being used in ways in which they shouldn't be used, i.e. being sent into cities as training camps against our own people.
Yeah.
I mean, a judge just came out, today? U.S. District Judge Gia Cobb ruled today that the Pentagon's deployment of National Guard troops to Washington, D.C. was illegal. Now, this is D.C., so it's a little bit different than our states, obviously. But the federal judge stayed the effect, of course, they always stay it, until December 11th while the matter is being appealed. But still, this is just an example. These are situations in which our commander-in-chief is abusing his power over the military. And just like Mike Johnson says, he's like, I have somebody in the Naval Academy. Yeah. And they're being taught a message, which is, and taking an oath to a constitution. What kind of mixed messaging do you think your son's getting, Mr. Johnson, if he's taking an oath to the Constitution and serving under a commander-in-chief that is violating that Constitution left and right? That's a mixed message. That is a message that is not needed right now. That is wildly inappropriate. It's crazy. It is crazy.
Teacher Lori says, according to Trump, just the fact of him giving the order makes it legal. I'm the president. I can do whatever I want, and you have to do it. No.
Exactly. And that's the problem. It's, I'm just.
That's not how America works. That's not, we've seen that in history. Coming back to bite people in the ass, right? You can't do it. It's created some of the biggest atrocities in the world. So no, we don't do that. We follow the law. You can't just tell someone, shoot those 10 people and have them do it. No.
Well, of course not. I mean, but again, I don't think that sending the military, deciding on your own without being called by the governor, right, into states that are allowed to govern themselves and saying that is a war zone, which, John, is what the president is doing, right? He's saying that's a war zone. I'm allowed to take the military and send in troops. That's what he's claiming as his defense for doing what he's doing. The governors are not asking for it. And the actual military being there is what is causing the disruption, which is causing the problem. Because, of course, people are going to protest because it's unconstitutional. Like, get the hell out of my state. So I don't know. That's the point. There's a reason why this video came out. There's absolutely nothing wrong with what the video said. I don't think they could have put those words into bigger, bold, blocked letters of illegal orders. They were not saying ignore Donald Trump every single time he gives you an order. They were not saying that at all.
Nope.
They were not saying anything close to that. But what they were saying was there seems to be, and they also, by the way, didn't even mention his name. They were just saying there are instances right now which are unconstitutional, which have been found to be unconstitutional. And you are not taking an oath to a man. You are taking an oath to our Constitution, which, by the way, Republicans, is what you guys constantly say you are here to defend. So what is your problem? What is your problem?
Alex or Phineas says Trump is always trying to find a way around it. And now the Supreme Court has even allowed him to disobey the actual law with impunity. Big difference, though, right? Because Trump can disobey the law or has immunity from whatever he does in an official capacity. But you know who doesn't have immunity? All the members of the military who he expects to follow illegal orders. No,
exactly.
They do not have immunity from that. They must not follow illegal orders. Why it's such a big deal to remind people of that, I'm not sure.
It's ridiculous. Yeah, Alex, he fired all the generals. He's firing people that will tell those underneath them, like, look, this is not right, right? Again, it's just like with his cabinet. He's surrounding himself and he's creating the leaders down, like his downline. If there's any, MLM people out there, of people that will just listen to him and spread his orders and won't care, right? That won't care. They're Carolyn Levitt's from the press box and everybody else. Just spew my BS and keep it going. It doesn't matter. And that's the problem. And I wonder what the people that make excuses, like I was telling you before the show, Trey Gowdy comes out. He's a Fox News contributor now, but he used to be a lawmaker. He says, "Oh, Donald Trump, he meant after a trial. I'm sure he meant after a trial by your peers, a jury trial by your peers, and after you've been found guilty. I mean, it was a stupid video. You can't be put to death for making a stupid video, or I'd be dead. I understand why the president is upset. It's a dumb video. I would advise him to ignore it. If a Fox News contributor has to tell the president of the United States to not take everything to chill out and not take everything so seriously, for the millionth time, we have the wrong person leading this country. I mean,
well, clearly,
it's
handled in so many horrible ways.
It's crazy.
Again, I go back to the right response was correct. Military, follow the military code, follow the military laws.
Exactly. I mean, that's a perfect pin on this topic, but it's just, he always responds in the complete opposite way that anybody should respond. I always urge Trump supporters, find me a video that inspires you of Donald Trump, that screams that's not insulting, that's not belittling anybody, that screams, that's not talking about himself, right? Like, that's not like, oh, I'm great. Like, that's one of those Obama, one of those videos that's like, he made me feel good.
Yeah.
Send it to me.
He can't do it.
Show@gmail.com.
He can't do it. He even if he says the first two sentences are what you would think, if Duvall goes right off the edge of the cliff.
No.
He can't do it.
No. He cannot get out of his own way. Like, because it's not who he is. He's not a leader. He just is in it for himself. But anyways, he's completely wrong. It's completely dangerous. It's wildly inappropriate, as House Speaker Mike Johnson would say, for anybody to say what he said. And I'm glad that there are people like Marjorie Taylor Greene, let's get into that are now, again, I don't know how much I really believe that this isn't, again, more of her just being butthurt that Trump's no longer supporting her. But this is breaking up is hard to do because, my God, what a breakup. So this feud between Marjorie Taylor Greene and Donald Trump has basically hit a peak. He has totally disowned her. She's apparently totally disowned him. So Donald Trump escalated the feud last weekend after Marjorie Taylor Greene slammed him over everything from Epstein to obviously the economy and all the things that he promised, the America First agenda. Marjorie
Yeah.
Taylor Greene's very much America first and truly believes that Donald Trump has given up on that, right? So he writes, I mean, I find joy. Lightweight Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Brown, green grass turns brown when it begins to rot. Betrayed the entire Republican Party when she turned left. And then Greene said on Sunday in an expose that she's received death threats, hoax pizza deliveries, and a pipe bomb threat.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Yeah. She's like, the hoax pizza deliveries have started now to my house and my family members. Update. We also received a pipe bomb threat to my construction company's office buildings. Welcome to the insane part, right, of this politics. But it's just this tit for tat. Like, do you think, here's my question. You guys can let me know in the comments. Will this MAGA breakup continue? Like, MTG was like the epitome of a MAGA supporter. And what is MAGA if you don't support Donald Trump anymore? What is MAGA?
Marjorie Taylor Greene says she still supports Trump's policies. She still supports that. You know, she just can't
But if it doesn't include Trump?
Yeah,
Because he's not doing it.
She still supports him. She still supports him. She still loves the president. She says, even though she can't support his stance on not releasing the Epstein files, right? So this all stemmed over him being mad at her over speaking out over the Epstein files. I still don't trust her.
Oh, of course not. Oh, God, no.
I think she's still nutty. Nutty. And I would not, she went on The View and she seemed reasonable. And she said, I regret calling for violence in politics. I regret the things that I've said, some of the things I've said and done. And, and I'm turning over a new leaf. And this is the way I believe that we shouldn't have violence involved in politics. And she comes out, as you just said, saying that she's, received a pipe bomb threat and this and that.
Right.
These are, and I'm not saying anyone deserves that, because I absolutely don't think that. But I wonder if she realizes that all of the rotten things she said about people, it whipped up that MAGA, contingent that does those threats against people. I wonder if she realizes how much she was involved in having things happen to people, the same things that are happening to her now.
Exactly. And is this a good comeuppance? I mean, I don't wish ill on anybody. Let me just preface this. Like, I think politics, I wish it can become boring again. I don't know if we're ever going to get back to that again. I think people that don't even understand politics are way too into politics, if that makes sense. Right? Like,
yeah. Oh, yeah.
Like, you don't even know how like laws are made or how it works or anything, but you're just really into it, right? But at the same time, like, I don't think that it needs to be, look, we're in it, right? Like, we care about the issues. We know, the people that are involved. I would never and have never sent a threat, wished anybody ill. I mean, I've wanted people to go away and move out of politics. I'll be completely honest.
Only privately in your head.
But I would never email anybody. I would never, the only calls I make are literally like, to the organizations or the actual government department that can do something about it. You know what I mean? Like, actually do the thing you're supposed to do, like call your congressperson. Those are the things that you do. And because sane people do that. I don't do insane things. I think people that just don't understand and have honestly nothing better to do, too much time on their hands, do that crap. Like, what are you doing? Why are you threatening people's lives? I understand that, like, people's livelihoods and, everything from, their marriage to their medical care to their livelihoods because of what's going on with the economy. I mean, they're desperate, but we don't threaten people's lives over it, right? Like, that's not the way to get your point across, obviously, because I am positive that on both sides of the aisle, people are getting death threats. And that's just not going to change anybody's mind. It's probably just going to make them dig their heels in even harder,
So while I don't trust Marjorie Taylor Greene, and I would caution everyone to remember who she really is, right?
She's the one that went liar at Barack Obama's State of the Union, by the way.
She's got a black soul. But here's her response to Trump calling her a traitor. She says, I fought for him, for the policies, and for America first. And he called me a traitor for standing with these women and refusing to take my name off the discharge petition. And then she said, let me tell you what a traitor is. A traitor is an American that serves foreign countries and themselves. A patriot is an American that serves the United States of America and Americans, like the women standing behind me.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, so she's picking a fight. I don't know if she can win this battle. I don't know if
she won't. She won't win
the
it.
love for Marjorie Taylor Greene in her
No.
district supersedes that of their MAGA love for Trump. I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, they elected her though. That's the whole thing. Like, I never understand how these people get elected and then they get reelected. You know what I mean? I'm like, what the hell? So, who knows? Maybe Marjorie Taylor Greene's like, all right, I'm not going to become a senator or whatever, but maybe I can get reelected again or do something else. Maybe she's like a little bit of the blinders are being lifted. That's what I truly hope. And again, I just feel like everybody needs to understand that no side is 100% right. Like Democrats aren't always right. Believe me, they are wrong in so many freaking ways. And they're such hypocrites in so many freaking ways. But so are Republicans. My problem is, it's the whole, like, you never go against anybody on the right. Like that's actually like a saying for Republicans, right? You never go against anybody on the right. It's just, that's it. And that's what I just don't understand. Democrats, in my opinion, don't really do that. I'm not saying never, but if you can have, like, go back to our other topic, if you can have the president of the United States call for the death of somebody for creating a video, and you just think that the video was wildly inappropriate, Mike Johnson, you're the problem. You are literally the epitome of the problem.
And maybe in a perfect world, if I have any hope, maybe it started with Marjorie Taylor Greene realizing that she was going to have to pay more for healthcare for her kids. And then, someone told her, oh, and look at this. And then maybe she had an open mind and she was more receptive to facts.
Yeah.
And maybe if that can happen to a crazy person like Marjorie Taylor Greene, maybe some of the other more mild MAGA Republicans, and if there is
you can be MAGA and mild. I don't know, those two words don't go together. I don't think.
Maybe there's a groundswell. I don't know. What she said is, though, the Epstein scandal has been Marjorie Taylor Greene said, it's been one of the most destructive things to MAGA. She said, watching this actually turn into a fight has ripped MAGA apart.
Yeah, I can imagine. I can absolutely imagine. So, we'll see what happens. But I will say, I love watching it. I love watching MAGA, and honestly, the only reason I really do, it's because of the hypocrisy. The hypocrisy just fucking kills me. It is just this, like we were talking about, oh, we need to bring the temperature down, when they were the ones that literally pour gasoline on every freaking topic. And I'm using a broad brush with the word they, though. They project what they're doing. It's so frustrating. And so I'm totally enjoying it. I'm absolutely enjoying it. So, we'll see. I do want to talk about something a little closer to home. And by home, I mean California. Tom Steyer. He's going to be taking on my girl, Katie Porter. In the governor's race.
Do we know what party he's running in?
I want to say Democrat or independent, right? Like,
I don't know which.
So let's see. He's a billionaire, which I really don't think aligns with Democrats. You know what I mean? No, as a Democrat. He launched his bid for California as a Democrat.
Okay.
Sure. Look, he's a billionaire. Billionaire and Democratic platform do not go together right now. I really don't think so. And Tom Steyer is great. I think he helped with Prop 50. I think that he does align in his views with it. There is a big saying right now. I don't know if you've heard this many times, but I've heard it umpteen amount of times, that billionaires should not exist, right? Like, billionaires of themselves are the problem. Like, just your existence and your ability to become a billionaire is the problem. And by the way, we include people like Taylor Swift and other people, like, not that they're doing it maliciously, but just the ability for certain people to be multi-billionaires is the problem in this country. When you have other people that are just done, like that, the inequity, and they work their ass off. You know what I mean? Like it's just, and so for the Democratic Party to promote one thing and then have its leader be a billionaire, I don't think it's going to be palatable. I don't think it's going to be palatable. Yeah, Liz, I agree. It's just, it's, I love you. I mean, I will even take that back. I don't need to be a billionaire. You know what I want to be? I want to be someone that doesn't have to worry about money.
Yeah.
Whatever that number is, wherever I'm living, I just want to be able to take care of my family, put food on the table. If I get sick, it's okay. I don't know. In this country, I have to be rich to do that. But you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to worry.
What do you need? What do we really need?
Right? Like, that's it. I just want to I want to have enough of a nest egg where if something happens, I can take care of it. But I'm also not the type of person that needs to have the newest car or the latest gadget. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, I want to be enough. I want to have enough, but not, I don't need to have everything. Does that make sense? Billionaires should be taxed out of existence. Billionaires can be taxed and still be billionaires. Does that make sense? Like, they could be taxed so much that we can pay for basically all of our shit and still be billionaires.
Yeah.
I think people say the word billion and don't even understand how much 1 billion is. And then there's like people that are like, I have $100 billion. That's an insane amount of money. Like, it's insane. Nobody should have that much money.
And then
Nobody
you
should
have
have that much
Elon
money.
Musk is set to be a trillionaire.
So that's what I'm talking about. Like, and the thing is, people are more willing, some people, to defend Elon Musk's ability to be a billionaire instead of somebody else who probably works like 2 to 3 jobs to be able to get government assistance. That's how fucked in the head this society is. You know what I mean?
I'm going to play devil's advocate. I'm going to put on my capitalist hat. And I'm going to say, but Nikki, what if you invented Google?
So I use Google. I helped you become a billionaire. You should be putting that money back into our economy.
If I'm the guy that invented Google and I came up with it and I poured my blood, sweat, and tears into it in the garage, and I put and I went around trying to get venture capitalists to support me, and I did everything I could, and I built this gazillion-dollar company. Shouldn't I be a billionaire?
No.
Like, do I not get rewarded for all my hard work?
You did.
If I'm Taylor Swift, and I'm born with the most amazing talent, and I'm kind, and everywhere I tour, I make sure and give money to food banks, and I pay my people right. Shouldn't I be able to be a billionaire? Then should these people just stop trying to better society and make art and innovate tech and
so
do
you can
all
only
these
do it if you're a
things
billionaire? No. That's the truth. No. One. And this is what it really, it's just really the honest to God's truth. You invented Google, right? Okay. So you've been paid 10 times over for that like invention, right? The reason you're successful is because society helped you, right? Like, society has a role in that success, and society should also benefit from it. The hoarding of that wealth is the problem, right? Like, you need to give more because you became a billionaire off something society helped make you successful at. That's the problem. And that's what I don't think people get. Right. Be a Mackenzie Scott. Like, and do it.
So you're saying the mere fact that Larry Page and Sergey Brin gave you Google is not enough?
No, they're fine. Now everything on top of it, dude, they've been taken care of 10 million times fold, right? Stop. They don't need anymore. They need to give back. They need to be taxed and taxed and taxed until they can't be taxed anymore. Why? Because they'll still be richer than we could ever dream to be. I feel like when I say they should be taxed to high heaven, people are like, they're going to be broke. You really think they're going to be broke? You really think they're going to know what struggle is? Give me a friggin' break over here. Tax them until they bleed from their eyes and they'll still sleep on diamonds. Give me a break. You know what I mean? Like, no, they're still going to be extremely wealthy. There's going to be a way for them to do some sort of accounting, and they're going to be rich. They're going to be wealthy. They're going to be so stinking rich, but they could give society more by taxing the crap out of them. Sorry.
Do you think that everyone should make the same amount of money?
No.
Like a universal type of income?
I do. I will say this. I don't think everyone should make the same amount of money, because we talked about this before. Yeah. There needs to be struggle in life, right? Like, I think people should strive. And I think that you do that through competition, right? Mm-hmm. But I do think basic necessities should be taken care of, i.e. healthcare, right? Mm-hmm. Like, we should survive. Housing. Yeah. Because when you don't have your, Maslow's hierarchy of needs taken care of, then it just becomes a drain on the rest of society. We have to take care of you anyway. So let's take care of the basic necessities of people. Let's help them at least. Let's tax people, rich people, wealthy, billionaires, right? Mm-hmm. Enough to take care of people in our society. And then, you know what? If you want a little bit more, go get more. Go get more. Fine. But at least I know that Tom, Dick, and Harry have a house over their head. And if they freaking have a heart attack, that they're not going to be medically bankrupt to take care of it. Right?
Deidre says, no, I worked my ass off to earn what I have accumulated. No one did it for me.
Nobody's taking it away from you, though. Nobody's taking it away from you, Deidre. I'm not talking about you. You and Sergey Brin are two totally different people. And if you were Sergey Brin, I would be talking about you. Absolutely. But I'm not talking about you, Deidre. I'm not even talking to people. And I don't know your tax bracket, but I'm just going to assume that you are not in the same tax bracket as Sergey Brin.
Well, even if she is very wealthy, say she's a millionaire, right?
Okay. And
so I guess I'm just saying, where do we stop it? Like, what's the threshold where you reach that, you shouldn't be allowed to have that much money?
Billion. How about that? Billion.
Billions. Okay.
That's why we say billionaires should not exist.
So collect your millions, but when you get to $1 billion, all bets are off.
Yeah. It. Why do you need $1 billion? If you can't live on less than $1 billion, there is something fundamentally wrong with the way you live.
Like, how am I going to have my my private island?
You can have it. Larry Epstein does.
Right. How am I going to have build my bunker underneath Maui? How am I going to build my bunker in Tahoe like Zuckerberg? How am I going to have my private jet? Nikki, you're really putting a damper on my life.
No, it's not. I'm not putting any damper. Believe me, they're fine. Do not worry about the 0.00000000000.1% of Americans. Okay, please stop worrying about them. They're going to be fine.
Deidre agrees with you and says, "Yeah, I don't have $1 billion. No,
you hold on to your money, sweetie." I mean, like, honestly, like, I'm talking about regular people. Like, I do believe in small capitalism, right? Small town capitalism. The better bread, the better, idea. But when you start getting bigger, capitalism becomes greed, and billionaires shouldn't exist. It just is. It's ridiculous. And so that going back to Tom Steyer, who threw his hat in the race, he's going to be a hard sell. Not to mention, I'm a Katie Porter girl, so she has my vote. I don't know. I don't think that there's anything that's going to sway my vote. So.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how it stacks up. I hope that Katie Porter can kind of regulate her emotions.
Oh, how could you say it out loud?
Oh, Muddy Potty. I hope she can.
Oh, Kim, come on.
She needs
we have a president who just called for the death of people, and he became. Yeah, she just got angry at one TV interview, and we're just going to vilify the woman. I mean, come on.
No. I don't want to vilify her, but I also want her to be ready for prime time, and I want her to be, able to take press questions from the press, and I want her not to freak out and keep an even keel. And I don't know if I'll say comparing her to Trump I don't think that's fair. She's not even on the same level as him. But if I don't think it's okay for him to wig out and freak out, then I don't.
But what she did was not even along the same
No,
lines
but
of
I don't.
anything that he's done.
But I also don't want to see that from her. Like, I want her to be better than that.
Kevin's like, she was born feisty. I mean, I don't know. I would never run for public office. Never. You could not pay me to do it. I could see myself though if I did. Although I don't know, just because of my media training, I don't think I would freak out. But like, I could see if I didn't have any, just with my attitude, I'd be like, yeah, I'm done with you. This is a stupid line of questioning.
Sue Ann writes, Tom Hartman, who is a progressive talk show host, says when the rich are taxed more than 50%, middle class thrives, less people suffer. She says it's all Reagan's fault. Thanks,
Of course
Sue Ann.
it is. Oh,
Dave wants to know how he's going to have his Russian nesting yachts available. I mean, you know,
I
those.
know I am worried about that too, Dave. But I think we're just going to have to make do. You know what I mean?
Well,
I just
billionaires, they have a yacht and then they tow another yacht behind it that carries all their toys, like their helicopter and their, their Humvees or whatever it is. They have a yacht for their yacht.
Oh
Like
yeah,
a yacht,
like
they
a
have a
little
yacht
tugboat.
garage.
Yeah. You know what happens, and I'm going to get a little dark here. You know what happens when people have too much money is that the thrill of certain things goes away, and for certain people, dark people, they start doing terrible things, a la Jeffrey Epstein, right? Like that. I'm not saying that that's why he did what he did, but I think that there's probably something to be said for sick people in the head that have too much money. Like you need to do something with it, and then people just do things for you and bring things for you, and you take advantage of certain people, and then look what happens. I don't know. I think there is something that too much money corrupts, and so I think we're actually helping people by taking away their too many billions of dollars. It's better for society.
I think it was definitely easier for Epstein because he had money to kind of hide behind and power, and he knew the secrets of people and he could push it down. But you see people, even the poorest of people that are, that have something wrong with them that hurt children, like that sickness it doesn't see money. But I do think it was easier for Epstein to keep it rolling for a lot longer because of what he was able to push down and hide and be secretive about. And look at all the people that were in it, and look at all the people that knew and didn't ever say a word.
I mean, the guy from Harvard, and now they're they're redacting the shit out of all those files now. Like, I bet you a ton of people, Republicans, are going to have like black lines over their names. But all I know is that people in power were very close to Jeffrey Epstein, and whether they participated, they knew. And that includes your president. He knew whether he participated, whether he did it or not. It's not that hard of a stretch to believe he did both. He knew. He knew, and he knew. And then like all this weird crap is coming out about him giving a BJ to Bubba. Like, I have no idea, like some of this crap that's been coming out. Like, so again, any other president, these things would be making headlines.
Thought is stomach turning.
I saw this one headline. They're like, we never thought we would have an LGBTQ president, but little did we know. But all I'm saying is Donald Trump knew what was going on Epstein Island, and he didn't do anything about it. And if that's not enough for you, I don't know what will be. You know what I mean? Like, same with Bill Clinton. And you can even throw Hillary in there. You know what I mean? Like all of them, vilify them all. I have no loyalty to either party when it comes to Jeffrey Epstein at all. It's disgusting. It's absolutely disgusting. And that I will agree with Marjorie Taylor Greene on. It's gross when people are trying to act like it's okay. And I'm glad that these girls, these women now are coming out with pictures when they were young girls, because they need to remember that these were children when it happened. That when you're asking someone to give you a massage, it's not a 40-year-old woman that you're looking at today. It was a 16, 17-year-old woman, child that was doing it. And their videos, Kevin says, ugh.
You'll hear them call them young ladies. Oh, he likes likes the young ladies. He likes the young women. No, they're not women or they're kids.
Children. Okay, well that is okay. Let's change gears just a little bit. I have one more fun it's kind of a lighter story, but kind of not. And this has to do, and you guys know how I feel about HOAs, but this has to do with exercise, certain communities, and what you're willing to put up with. And we've talked about this before, but Carmel is going to possibly become the first city in California. I don't know if it's going to be the whole country, but I think maybe, but at least in California, that's going to permanently ban pickleball. Anybody play pickleball out here? Anybody?
What's wrong with pickleball?
Do you have any pickleball things out there in Petaluma?
Yeah, there's a pickleball court here. I mean, I don't play it, but I know people who do.
Any pickleball players? Anybody? No? Okay. So apparently Carmel, which is a very nice area. Carmel's just absolutely gorgeous. So the Carmel City Council paved the way to make a temporary ban permanent at the only public court. So there's only one within its limits. Now, the problem with pickleball is it's the sound that echoes. I didn't realize it. The ball's plastic. So
it's
it
very
makes
noisy.
This sound when you hit it with the paddle. And I guess it reverberates way too loudly for the people that live in Carmel. Okay. There's going to be a problem. I just find this extremely, extremely funny. So now obviously some other cities have had restrictions like hours you can play and things like that. But if Carmel moves forward with it, it'll be the first full ban that will be implemented in a California city. And what they're saying is there was some compromise that they were offering where I guess there's like softer balls or paddles that will like kind of dull the noise. But people in Carmel were like, well, who's going to come out here and kind of police whether or not they're using the softer, paddles and balls? Here's my question though. I'm just shocked that the people that are complaining are probably the same age as the people that play the damn game. Seniors and retirement aged people are the biggest fans of this game because it's like tennis, but it doesn't use the whole court, right? So you can use it more when your body is like a little more, slower. So I just feel like this is the epitome of way too much into people's business. Is there some sort of rule of life where you don't have to always be comfortable with the sounds of life? Does that make sense? I'm sorry that during the day you're going to hear shit that bothers you. I'm sure in Carmel people can afford thicker windows. You know what I mean? How bad could it actually be?
Let's hear it.
Let's hear it. I mean,
that doesn't sound that bad.
It doesn't sound that bad to me. I mean, it's incessant.
I guess it's a little louder than tennis.
I guess if everyone's playing at the exact same time. Yeah, Judy says with 14 dedicated pickleball courts, the city of Concord is home to one of the largest pickleball complexes in Northern California. I'm thinking this is my compromise, and I know people love to be outside. Move it inside then. Have indoor pickleball courts.
Indoor pickleball courts. I was reading that some people in their neighborhoods are building, let's get rid of that pickleball. Some people are building walls around their neighborhoods so they can keep the pickleball noise out. There was one lady in San Francisco, you remember her? She lived right across the street from a park where the pickleball courts went in. And she tried to petition the city to get rid of the pickleball courts because the noise was keeping her awake and disturbing her life. And it turns out she actually had a pickleball court on her own
in her backyard.
Too.
Yes, exactly. I remember that shit. She's like, well, it's fine if I play because I know when it's going to be happening.
Yeah.
But it's similar to when you have a house next to Shoreline Amphitheater. Where you're moving into. There's going to be noise. Now, I understand these pickleball courts might come in after you have your home. So that's kind of annoying, right? Deidre says, my city just converted an old tennis court to a 6-court pickleball court. Very social too. That I've heard. Again, I don't play. I want to learn. I've never played.
Yeah.
It seems like the pros outweigh the cons. And if you're complaining, you should probably just play. Does that make sense? Why don't you just get out there and play or have a good time? Bocce's a lot quieter. I know bocce's the same. Bocce is fun though. I play bocce. I like bocce. There's a PayPal Park, which is where the San Jose Sharks or San Jose Earthquakes play, the soccer team out in San Jose here, where my hometown is. They're possibly going to start letting concerts happen, which I'm totally stoked about, because then I don't have to go all the way to Shoreline, right?
Yeah.
Like it's not that much farther, or Levi's, but PayPal Park is way closer, a little bit closer. I'm totally stoked about it. But of course, people are complaining because they're like, there's going to be concerts.
Heather says, I'd rather hear that than neighbors with screaming kids or nonstop barking dogs.
I agree. But this goes back to my original question. Life's noisy. Should you expect a degree of quiet, or I want everything to sound the way I want it to sound in life? Go inside, buy better windows, but that's all you can really control. Other than that, suck it up, Buttercup. Like, pickleball's going to exist. Traffic horns are going to exist. Barking dogs are going to exist. You know, your crazy neighbor screaming at somebody probably is going to exist. You know what I mean? There should not be this assumption that life is always going to be pleasant. And I just feel like to pick at pickleball, which is something that older people mostly are enjoying and socializing and having a good time, like that's the hill you're going to die on. I just feel stupid. I don't know. But maybe because I don't live next to one.
If you live in a community like Carmel, which is very hoity-toity, right? And the houses are worth gazillions, and everyone is.
But I feel like you'd want a pickleball court, right? It seems like it.
It's, I don't know, like if that's what the community wants, then whatever. But I think if you move into a busy area, a populated area, you're in San Jose, I'm in the North Bay, we're in the Bay Area. Unless you choose to live on a secluded lane out in the country, right, then you're going to be faced with the sounds of life.
Yes.
And you have to expect that there's just going to be some noise around you. And if it happens after 10 p.m., call the popo.
Because I'm sure they're going to love to be called out because of pickleball. Yeah, exactly. Alex, get off my lawn. Clint Eastwood must be behind that protest. Oh, Clint Eastwood. Yeah, exactly. I just feel like when you hit a certain tax bracket, let's go back to the money, like Kim's mentioning, maybe you do expect a certain degree of comfort. But I don't know. It's pickleball. I constantly see this, and I just think it's so freaking stupid. And so we'll keep an eye on it. We'll see what happens, and keep you guys posted. Okay, I want to do another apology for those that normally find us on YouTube. I'm going to take this recording now that the show is ending. I'll pull it off StreamYard and hope against hope that YouTube will let me put it up there as a recording. I don't know what happened. We had 2 recordings at the beginning, and something happened.
I wanted to show you what Sue Ann said. She said, I was trying to tile Facebook and YouTube windows and lost the chat. And when I tried to open it again, there's 4 Nikki YouTube upcoming links on my menu.
When I went to YouTube, there were a bunch of white ones. So something's going on either with my feed or YouTube or something of the sort, or StreamYard, which is the system that we use to kind of broadcast the show on all of our social media feeds. I will figure it out. I apologize. YouTube is where most of you guys watch my show, so we would never really want to not be on YouTube. So obviously, but I love that many of you found us on Instagram and Facebook, and unfortunately we can't see your comments unless it's on Facebook. I don't know if we could see Instagram. Can we see Instagram comments on here? I don't know. I only see Facebook, but maybe I can see Instagram.
Because the F ones, the Facebook ones, have the little blue F, and then this one has an R.
No, that's on YouTube. So that's R is for Rev, and that's a YouTube flag. Where is he? Oh, I think he's just putting that in there. I think he just can't find us. I think he's still in the chat that doesn't exist.
Oh, it's the little red thing. Yeah.
Yeah. I think Rev, he can't hear me. But anyways, so yeah, exactly. At least we know how to emergency shift to Facebook. There you go. We know how to practice. It's like an emergency fire drill. So now we know. Everybody, this will be. IG wasn't working. I see some people on Instagram, so hello to people on Instagram. But yeah, I apologize. Big apology. But we are 100% crowdfunded, so we would never ever want to give up our YouTube feed. Shut it, Nugget. But if you want to support the show, the super chat and super stickers might be up and running. if I can get it up on YouTube. If not, we will be back again next Tuesday, 5 o'clock. We will be live because next week is a holiday week. We didn't want to do a recorded show. We wanted to be with you guys live. So we will be here Tuesday, 5 o'clock. Kim and I will be here. Okay. So join us. We'll be talking turkey. We'll be talking turkey. I want to say another big thank you to Daniel, who gave us our big donation. Daniel gave us $50. Thank you so much, Daniel. He's a big supporter. And again, if you ever go to San Francisco, please go to the Red Jack Saloon. It is a fabulous bar. Say hi to Lori. She is amazing. She's absolutely amazing. And it's a great bar. They have great drinks. They're not overpriced like a lot of things are in San Francisco. So definitely go check it out. Tell them, go get a Maduro Mule or a Kamikaze or a Martini or whatever. And it's a big support of the show. And Dan is a big supporter of us. So thank you for the $50 donation as well. And if you want to support us other ways, PayPal is a great way. Our email is thenikkimadoroshow@gmail.com. And we take Patreon as well. All of the details would be in the show. Will be in the show notes when I put it on YouTube. So I appreciate you guys so very much. All right, you guys, Tuesday, 5 o'clock right here. We love you guys. Take care of each other and bye-bye.
Nikki, you're all so awesome. You're proud, like a beautiful blossom. You're also the best. I really can't rest. You're all so awesome.
Wow. Okay.